Hi, thank you for joining me with Scrapbooking with Lanita. Today I'm going to show you this very cute little journal album or journal book that Linda Seeley taught us at National Scrapbook Day. Now this would seem like a tiny little obscure little journal book with one little pocket, and it's called Kraft Journal On! Exclamation point. You'll see why the exclamation point, because there are so many possibilities with this. It looks like a simple little book, but it has so many fun possibilities. And I'm going to show you what Linda did. I wish I had the Maine accent. I don't, but maybe I'll just treat you with some of what she said after this video. Like I'll attach it to the end of this. Okay, so this is this. And last year, Linda took a cruise for their 45th anniversary. Ugh. Let's move that over here and not catch it on my fingers. And so she decorated it with, it looks like the Seas Please. What I love about this is that all the prices are there and the cost of things, the itinerary, the flights. And then there are the days of the cruise and what they did. Here's the 45 years today, that's their anniversary. I didn't read it all, but I'm going to say that some of the details are very, very fun. There's the weather, location, nautical miles, the shows they watched, of course the cost, name of the ship, who went with them. All those details are really, really neat to add to something like this. And I'm just going through it just to encourage you on making something like this. Now, this caught my eye, the Florida map, and I thought, oh, that's cool. Back in Florida, landed back in Florida, and I like also how the washi tape is being used here. In fact, it is on here also to strengthen the back of it. That's a really good idea. On this one, she added an extra piece of journal paper, and then on the back it does have one pocket here, so this is this one, and then she just made an extra pocket and reinforced it with the washi tape. Did I say journal tape? Washi tape is. And then in here are, you know, the little Carnival cruisings, American Airlines luggage tags and boarding pass, and look, even the Yahtzee game that they played, some little postcards in here. And all that is just really just such a fun, compact little journal of the trip. And then she made this one a couple of days ago so that I would be able to show something that she is going to in, looks like November 29. Oh, must be October 6th to November 29. It's backwards, but that's all right. And this one has a pocket in the front. This one is using the little cruise ship from the cruise ship promo, in case you see that peeking through and want to know what is used here. And then the back is also decorated. This one is decorated with the sun soaked paper and embellishments. There are a lot of embellishments on here. And what we realized as she was making it is that the best and most fun one, now that we have these little 8x8 packs, they may be limited edition, I'm not quite sure, but notice that this is a miniature of the 12x12 size. This is a 12x12, and this is just a little miniature of it. So also this, and let's see, where's the little one that I started? And this paper is just a little bit smaller than, or the figures are a little bit smaller. Here's a good sample of the larger leaves and then the smaller leaves on the 8x8. And if you're just thinking like, how would I use this, or what other things could I do with this? Think about some of the 8x8s that I have here are the Christmas charms. So something for Christmas, graduation, birthday, and of course, Passport to Adventure. She added some of the Passport to Adventure in here also. In fact, the front, I think, has that. Yes. And again, these are miniature. So you can compare it to the larger Passport to Adventure, and those are smaller. So I just love that part. Okay. The other thing is that these can actually fit inside an album. So I'm addressing all the questions that came up when Linda was showing this. This particular one would fit inside the 6x8 brochure pockets, and this has sticky all the way on the back, so it can be put right onto the album. The other way that it can be displayed and viewed, if you want to put it in your scrapbook, do you remember the old pockets that went all the way across? Well, Creative Memories has these again. They're in a pack like this, or they're separate now maybe, but 12 by 5 inches, and then the 6 by 5. So there are different sizes, and then the one here that's 6 by 8. This one you could open and have it open, and then it wouldn't be as bulky, and you would have it right in there in one of these, and you can even put another pocket there for more brochures. You can even put one of these in there for some brochures. You can even tilt it. There's so much you can do for this with this little journal. Okay, that's just a little side note. Now, one of the reasons that this really caught my attention too when she brought it to my attention was because I have my grandfather's old album from 1928 when he went to the Panama Canal. It had just opened, and his son was 2 years old. His wife had just died, and so he just needed to get away and grieve, I guess it was. And so I think that's the story that he said, I want to go to the Panama Canal, and it had just opened, and he loved history and loved geography and things like that. But what I love is, of course, the story, all the writing that he did. Even though some of the pictures aren't that good, he has all this writing. And then the menu is in here. So SS Finland, February 12, 1928, Panama Pacific Line. Isn't that just cool to have this? This is almost 100 years old. And so I just think it's really important to write and to keep all these things to be able to look back on later. All right, so how to make this? That's what I'm going to go next with. Let me just see. Yeah, let me just make that part first. Okay, set this here. So when I mentioned that the 8x8s are the best, the 8x8 doesn't work for this because this is bigger. And so I'm going to use a larger paper. And I'm going to go ahead and cover it. I'm going to go ahead and cover it with this one. This is just kind of fun. I know it's big, but I love it for this one. And so here are the measurements. Now, here's part of the thing. Somebody was asking me, do you have written directions? Actually, quite a few people were asking me when I posted it on a couple of our sites, and I said, no, I don't have written directions. In fact, I just videoed Linda Seeley sharing it, and so I thought, well, let me figure out a few written directions that are handwritten. We're all about handwriting, right? Okay, so that's the inside part. So let's go with this. The book size is 9 1/4 by 6 1/2. Okay, 9 1/4 by 6 1/2. But because you're going to fold it and score it, your paper needs to be a little bit bigger. So I want this to be the way it's going to look. Okay, that's going to be that. And you know, you can bring it up a bit depending on what you want showing, but I'm good with that showing. And so let's just set that there. So 9 3/8 is how I'm going to put this. And I want that part to be the main part, and this is the part that I want to be to have here. And so I'm going to do the 6 1/2 first. All right, so that is pretty straightforward. That's the length of it, like that part of it. Okay, now when I did this earlier, what I noticed is even though I measured and measured and measured, I was a little short, but that was okay because I didn't want to have it hanging off. All right, and then this direction, it's going to be 9 3/8. So 3/8 is a little over a fourth, okay? So 9, and I actually marked it with a pen right there. It looks like it's, I just made it longer right there. I did it with a brown pen so I'd be able to see it. So 9 3/8. And I have the camera farther down because either these are smaller things, and I know that I'm hoping I don't get out of the part of the camera or the view and down towards here where you can't see. So I wish you would be able to say, Lenita, you're off the camera, but anyway, that's the way it is. Okay, score. So the score is at 4 11/16. I know, how do you get that number, right? Now, it's a little bit past the 5/8. So let's see if I can signal it with this. So there's 5/8 and there's 11/16. So again, it's a little bit of a hard one to find. So I marked it on my trimmer. There's just a little dot there, and that's 11/16. That's where I'm going to score. And I've made about 5 of these, and that's pretty much exact. So let's hope that that is correct this time too. Is it? There we go. Ooh, I'm a little crooked there. I might not have been. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's that. And then you are just going to go ahead and cover it. All right. Now this is, well, I probably should have showed it to you earlier, but I kind of forgot. So here you go. It's all ready to be covered, front and back. And you see how there's just a little bit of the brown showing, but then on my other practice ones, they were a little bit too big. So I think what happens when you really tape it down, Will, it just kind of, there will be a little bit of a gap. So you can do your little, like a hair bigger if you want, but it's hard to describe how to make things a hair bigger. So, okay. For these, you will want the max tape runner max strength is perfect for putting this outside part on. Okay, so you'll use that. And then for the inside, which I'll show next, it would be the regular tape runner. And then decorating, I used the Repo just because I might want to move some things if I'm pre-decorating. So I'm just going to go ahead and, okay, I don't know why that's doing that, but maybe I'm almost out. Hopefully I'm not almost out of this because I don't like that bunching. There we go. I'll just take it off because I need a little bit more to be able to show you, don't I? Okay, so I'm going to put it there and there, and then I'll just add this. Yeah, I must be running out here. Ah, I should have checked that before I did this, huh? Okay, all right. So I'll just take those off here. Okay. I do love the max strength tape, by the way. Okay. So then to make the pocket, actually no, first you want to cover this part. Just like you see here, this is the small 8x8. And I think I'm just gonna grab this one here to make it easy. So this is where I'm going to move to this one. Oh yeah, the other supplies you need is the tab punch and the foam squares and of course the scoring blade. Okay, so 4.5 by 6.5. That's pretty easy, right? I'll use the little trimmer. And what's cool about this is that the 4.5 and this 6.5 is right up to there. So I like it that I can go all the way up to there. All right, and then what happens is this piece right here is the leftover, and I could put it right up there if I wanted to, which is what I did on this side. The opposite side of this is the yellow. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and attach this. I think I'm running out of all my tapes here, and I didn't plan well, but okay, that's all right. I have more in the box there in my little caddy. Okay, and this I'm just gonna, oh no, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted this one. Okay, do I really want to put that on there with max strength? Ooh, I don't know. Well, I can always put something else over this if I don't like that. But anyway, okay, so there's that. And now the pocket. So here's the deal with the pocket. And this is what I was showing. The top banner is 4.5 by 1.5. For the pocket, it's 4.5 by 3 3/4. And literally it's the same size as this. So you're just gonna make 2 of them. Okay, you're just gonna do 2, make 2, front and back. So I felt like the easiest way, and I brought this out, even though it's going to be a bigger pocket, just to be able to show. So I'll cut it at the 4.5 by 3 3/4. I'm going to do the 3 3/4 so that I can get more out of that one. And 4.5 is what I said, right? So there's an angle to this, and since I struggle with math, and I thought, how am I going to tell them to angle it like 1.5 inches down? So you are literally going to go 1.5 inches down, but I thought, well, I mean, why measure? Why don't I just like put this right here and make a little mark there and make it easy on myself, right? I know I'm only making 1 of them, but you will want to make 2. And then it's just so much easier than having to measure. I've got that, I have that, and there it is. All right, so then the next thing you're going to want to do is you are going to fill it with the foam squares, the smaller ones, because, and I'll go ahead and put this one in. Oh yeah, this is another important part. You want to cut it on the side that you want it, because you know the opposite won't work. Like if you're cutting it on this side with this angle and this is the side you wanted, then obviously that's not going to work. This side, it doesn't matter because you know there's no other pocket to compare it to. So you could do it this way, but for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and put it on just in case I don't want to, just in case I want, I'm going to put it on with the oh, another thing I meant to say, ooh, I'm forgetting. You want to cut 2 of these because you can put it on this side. Now, which paper did I use? I think I used this one, didn't I? All right, well, I'll use this one now. I'm going to use this one. I just keep using all these little papers that I have because they're fun. But you can use scraps. In fact, do I have any scraps lying around? I guess I don't. So what did I say? 4.5 by 1.5. So I'll do the 4.5 here. And I'll take the, or 4.5 by 6.5. So I'm going to do that. This 1.5 piece is the one that is for a page. So you'll have this left for a banner if you want it to be. That's a little bit loud. So I'm going to put this right inside here. And that could maybe have been a little bit smaller, but let's just see. Yeah, I probably should have done this a little bit smaller. On my samples it worked, but this one is a little bit, oh, I see. My tape is hanging up on the part there. So maybe it would be better to put the tape on the paper itself, and rather than the paper, put it on there. I think that's how I did it. Okay, so there's that, and then you can decorate it and do whatever. I'm crooked on that one, huh? That's how we do repo tape runner. Okay, so there's that. And then the pocket, this one is going to go And the reason that you put the foam squares is because it will raise it a bit so you can fit more goodies in, the way you saw Linda with her goodies, right? So the book is not that tedious. It's more teaching it that takes a little bit of time. But I think that you'll love making this. And I'm just going to bring it over a bit. And there you go. So see, it gives it a little bit of dimension. And then this side is open. So then you can put little goodies in it. Right? Okay, like that, like hers is. And yeah, that one didn't stick well. Okay, so there's that. Now, I'm going to move back to this one. I decorated front and the back. I want to make sure I don't forget anything. Is there anything here? Oh yeah, that was the little shortcut I wrote there. So I'm just going to hold this up just a bit so that you can look at it. If you want to fussy cut this for this part here, that's easy to do. I stuck this on a piece of blue because I saw that that's what she did here. And that's something fun to be able to do, to decorate. Now, I found in that kit that Creative Memories gave us, all these, the Cancun one, I thought these are great. So I'm going to say, like, you want to customize sometimes where you're going. This, I know we're going to Cancun, so, and I grew up in Mexico, so I know a little bit about what I want there, but I love it that there's a lot of places to journal. So, you know, this could be here. This is where we're going. So this, I may trade this one for this. Oh, I want to talk about those too. Don't let me forget that part. This, I'm thinking I'm going to cut it apart because it doesn't fit right here. So I may just cut the words apart and put them, you know, all over the place here. But I love that there's a lot of little spots to write, because I have spots here that could either have pictures or could have the writing. Okay, so now push this aside. Let's see what the tabs. So the tabs, the easiest thing on the tabs is to score it, and I think that's the last thing that I want to show you. I put this here to remind me. I just punched a whole bunch of these out. Punched them out, and of course it'll depend on what you have at your, you know, for your days of being gone or whatever it is. But the easiest way to do these so that they'll fold and be straight and whatever is to put them right on the line there and score it nicely. And there you go. So there's that. And then you'll want to use I'm going to say this tape just because it will stick really well. And I want this to stick really well. So then it would go, have the one there, and you know, and you'll write with whatever you want to write. And I'm going to look and see, where do I want this tab here? Probably. That seems about right there. Now, my suggestion to make it ahead of time for a trip is because if you wait, you're just not going to do it probably, right? So make these ahead of time, make several of them, make whatever you think you need, make them for your friends. Have fun, and thank you for watching Scrapbooking with Anita.
I made this journal for when we go cruising, and it helps me keep track of all the things that we do. And I created a pocket so that I can stick things in, and I like to keep track of what it cost us to go on a cruise. So the first pages are always filled with that information, like this would be what our plane tickets cost.
What was on the front?
Oh, the front was saying that what the cruise was and how much it cost and what happened this time. I'm having to change it 3 or 4 times, but we finally got the right date.
Good.
And then I haven't bought air tickets yet because it's the end of November and they really are just barely coming out. But that will fill in here, and if we buy anything else, that will go into that page. And this will be our first day of our trip going to the airport. And whatever happens for that, because usually something happens in the airport. So I have 2 pages that I can write, or if I don't need it, I can use this for something else. And then I do my first day in Florida, and that will be an exploring day because we don't get on the ship yet. And I use little tabs because it helps keep you in the right section. And this would be, we actually go to port. So I have started what, where we're gonna be, which is, where the port is. And that gives me information there, and it tells me I need to go to the muster station first and get it over with, so I can then have my cruise. So this one is day at sea, so I'm not really sure what we're gonna do, but we're on the ship. I also used the tab punch. I used my scorn braid to do the fold over. And I made sure that I layered them down because it does make it easier to find what you're looking for. And so each day I have what we're doing, and so this day's at sea too. And then we're gonna be on land, so this is the land day. And so I continue to do each of the ports that we're in until, unfortunately, we get back to the port to get off. And I did place a little sad face on my little
look
thing.
at that. Oh my goodness, that is so
Because you're pretty sad when you have to get off. And then this will fill in like at the airport until we get home. This pocket I didn't make because it's there. I just decorated. I did make this one because I like being able to stick stuff in there.
So there's a big selection of 8x8s.
And it works wonderful because you don't waste as much paper because it fits better.
Yeah, and then of course the tab and the cruise ship. Great, I think that is it. Thank you so much, Linda.
You're welcome.
Love it. Thanks for showing us all that.